Thunder roars. Lightning cracks across the sky. The mountain trembles. And God himself writes 10 eternal laws on stone tablets, the 10 commandments, unchanging, absolute, divine. But as adults, when we slow down and read carefully, the story becomes more complex. Were there only 10? Why are there 2 different versions? Who actually wrote them? And what were these commandments really meant to be? Tonight, we revisit the 10 commandments, not as a Sunday school memory, but as a deeply human moment recorded in the Book of Exodus and again in the Book of Deuteronomy. And what we find may challenge what many of us thought we knew. The scene begins at Mount Sinai. The Israelites have just escaped Egypt, their former slaves. No constitution, no government, no national identity yet. They are in the wilderness, physically free, but socially undefined. Is that where laws begin? In freedom, or in fear of losing it? The mountain shakes. The people are terrified. They beg Moses to speak to God on their behalf. Already we see something deeply human, fear of direct divine encounter. Why fear if this covenant is meant to be good? Then come the commandments. No other gods, no idols. Do not misuse God's name. Remember the Sabbath. Honor your father and mother. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. Do not covet. Clear, direct, moral. But here is where questions begin. In Exodus, the Sabbath is grounded in creation. God rested on the 7th day. In Deuteronomy, the Sabbath is grounded in liberation. Remember, you were slaves in Egypt. Why 2 different reasons for the same command? Is it contradiction or reinterpretation for a new generation? And then there's something even more surprising. When Moses descends the mountain and sees the golden calf, he smashes the tablets. Later, new tablets are made. But when we read the next list of commandments in Exodus 34, they are different. They include instructions about festivals, sacrifices, and agricultural practices. Is that the same 10 commandments, or another set? Which version is the real one? What we often memorize today is a summary tradition, a blending. Catholic, Protestant, and Jewish traditions even number them differently. If they were written in stone, why do we number them differently? This isn't just theological trivia. It reveals something important. These commandments were transmitted, interpreted, and shaped through generations. They were not floating in history untouched by human hands. And that raises a deeper question. Were the 10 commandments dropped from heaven as a finished legal code? Or were they the foundation of a developing covenant relationship? Consider the first command. You shall have no other gods before me. Notice it doesn't say other gods don't exist. It says don't put them before me. In an ancient Near Eastern world filled with competing deities, this reads less like philosophical monotheism and more like covenant loyalty. Is this about universal theology or national identity? And what about coveting? It's the only command that regulates internal thought rather than external action. Why end the list there? Because every external violation begins internally? Or does it reveal something impossible? That law can control behavior, but not desire? And here's another tension. These laws were perfect and complete. Why do hundreds of additional laws follow in the Torah? Dietary laws, purity laws, civil penalties? If 10 were enough, why expand? Lest the 10 were not exhaustive but foundational. And then we face another contradiction often overlooked. In Exodus, the people hear God speak directly before retreating in fear. In Deuteronomy, Moses recounts the event decades later to a new generation. The tone shifts. Details shift. Memory shapes narrative. Does that weaken the authority or show how sacred memory works? We were often taught the 10 Commandments as universal moral absolutes. But originally, they were part of a specific covenant between God and Israel. So how did they become displayed in courtrooms and taught as the moral code of Western civilization? Is that faithful preservation or cultural adaptation? And here's perhaps the most human moment in the story. Moses descends with the tablets radiant from being in God's presence, yet the people are worshiping a golden calf, while divine law is being written. Human impatience is already at work. Is that not deeply relatable? How often do we struggle to wait, to trust, to remain faithful in uncertainty. Maybe the story of the Ten Commandments is not just about law. Maybe it's about relationship under pressure. A freed people trying to redefine themselves. A leader overwhelmed by responsibility. A community negotiating identity in the wilderness. And the wilderness matters. Because commandments were not given in a palace. They were given in instability. Perhaps law emerges most powerfully when chaos threatens. But let's ask one more difficult question. If these commandments are eternal, why do we emphasize some more than others? We fiercely defend, do not murder. Yet Sabbath observance, one of the 10, is often ignored. Is selective obedience another human contradiction? What about images? No graven images? Yet religious art fills churches across history. How do we reconcile command and culture? Maybe contradiction is not accidental. Maybe it reflects the tension between divine ideal and human practice. Stone tablets represent permanence, but smashed tablets represent failure. And rewritten tablets represent mercy. That might be the most human part of all. Failure does not end the covenant, it rewrites it. The Ten Commandments may not just be about rules, they may be about relationship, broken and restored. Perhaps that's why the story endures, not because it gives us 10 easy answers, but because it confronts us with enduring questions. Can laws create morality? Can fear produce faithfulness? Is obedience enough without transformation of the heart? And are we any different from the people at Sinai? Wanting structure, yet resisting surrender? So maybe the contradiction isn't in the stone, maybe it's in us. If this exploration challenged the way you've understood the Ten Commandments, take a moment to like this video. It helps this channel reach others who are searching for deeper conversations about scripture and history. And if you want more documentary-style explorations of biblical stories, contradictions, and the human questions behind ancient texts, subscribe and turn on notifications, because sometimes the stories carved in stone are really written in human struggle. And sometimes the greatest commandment of all is to keep asking why.